Welcome to Public Wire, your number one source for small cap market news. Deutsche Bank has been added to the list of members for JPMorgan's blockchain-based payments initiative. After the latest edition, the Interbank Information Network, IIN, now has 320 signed up for the initiative. IIN was created on Quorum, which is an Ethereum-based blockchain network generated by the banking giant, JPMorgan. The coin has now been named JPM Coin. According to JPMorgan, JPM Coin will cut time and cost caused by interbank payment delays. Most members use JPMorgan to process US dollar payments, but Deutsche Bank is the leader in processing euro-denominated payments. By the end of 2019, IIN is on track to have 400 members. Libre, Facebook's cryptocurrency project, is set to answer the questions from 26 central banks regarding the risks of financial stability of the new cryptocurrency. On Monday, the Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure, a forum for central banks under the Bank for International Settlements, will quiz the Libre Association in Basel, Switzerland. The attendees will reportedly include the Bank of England and the U.S. Federal Reserve. In October, the results of the central banks will be included in a report from the G7 nations. Celsius Holdings Inc, Nasdaq CELH, is a lifestyle fitness drink and a pioneer in the rapidly growing performance energy sector, announced that it has priced its registered public offering of 6.9 million shares of its common stock. The offering is set at a price to the public of $3.60 per share. Certain directors and affiliates of Celsius Holdings intend to purchase roughly 1.1 million shares of the common stock. The IPO is expected to close on September 16, 2019. Satsuma Pharmaceuticals Inc, Nasdaq STSA, a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company developing STS-101, dihydroergotamine, DHE, nasal powder for the acute treatment of migraines. Satsuma announced the pricing of its initial public offering of 5.5 million shares of common stock at a public offering of $15 per share for gross proceeds of $82.5 million. On September 13, 2019, Satsuma was approved for listing on the Nasdaq Global Market and will begin trading under the ticker symbol STSA. The IPO is expected to close on September 17, 2019. Heartland Bank Corp, OTCQX HLAN, a registered bank holding company and the parent of Heartland Bank, which operates 16 full-service banking offices and Trans-County Title Agency, LLC, has qualified to trade on the OTCQX Best Market. Heartland Bank Corp upgraded to OTCQX from the OTCQB Venture Market. Heartland Bank Corp begins trading on the OTCQX under the symbol HLAN. Integrated Biopharma Inc, INBP, reported financial earnings for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2019 on August 29th. For the fiscal year ended on June 30th, 2019, revenues were $50 million compared to $43.7 million for the fiscal year to date, an increase of 14%. Integrate Biopharma had operating income of $2.7 million for the fiscal year that ended on June 30th, 2019, compared to operating income of $1.7 million for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2018. We are excited to report that our annual revenues increased by approximately 14% and that our revenues from our two significant customers in our contract manufacturing segment remained consistent, contributing approximately 91% in each of the fiscal years ended June 30th, 2018 and 2019, said Reva Shepard, co-chief executive officer of the company. Over the weekend, one of Saudi Aramco oil facilities was attacked by drones, which knocked out half of the company's oil production capacity. The attack seemed to overshadow the company's upcoming IPO, which is set to be the largest IPO in history. The strike took out roughly 5.7 million barrels per day of Saudi oil production, which is equivalent to 5% of global daily oil output. The drone attack from the weekend has questioned the security of Aramco's assets and the confidence of its future shareholders. Saturday's attacks raised the fear of future attacks in a very real way for equities investors. Ellen Wald, president of Transversal Consulting. A major question for investors is whether the schedule for the IPO will go on as planned, which was reported to have a listing date as early as November. Nasdaq NDAQ, and Wilmington Trust announced the first ever tickers for collective investment trusts, CITs, on Nasdaq Fund Network, NFN. NFN is a global distribution service who is bringing better retail investment transparency to the world's financial markets. NFN and Wilmington Trust have created searchable tickers for over 200 CITs. CITs are low-cost investment vehicles similar to mutual funds, but only available to 401k and other retirement plans. For the first time, NFN enables investors to access information on these low-cost investment funds with a standardized ticker. Roto Rooter Services Company, a subsidiary of ChemMed Corporation, NYSE, CHE, announced it acquired Hoffman Southwest Corp's Roto Rooter franchise operations for $120 million. The new acquisition means that Roto Rooter takes over 14 Western U.S. franchises. This is Roto Rooter's largest franchise acquisition in their history. The franchise territories include Metro Los Angeles and San Diego, California, Dallas and El Paso, Texas, Phoenix, Tucson, and Florence, Arizona, Salt Lake City, Ogden, Park City, and Provo, Utah, and Portland and Salem, Oregon. All of these Roto Rooter locations serve approximately 32 million people across 5 states. The deal closed on Monday, September 16, 2019. It is part of Roto Rooter's ongoing strategy of acquiring franchises to boost productivity, market share, and profitability. Medical Marijuana Inc., OTC MJNA, was the first ever publicly traded cannabis company in the United States. They have created the world's first ever cannabis-derived nutraceutical products, a pharmaceutical alternative that claims physiological benefits. They announced that its subsidiary, HempMeds Brazil, the first company authorized by Anvisa, the Brazilian National Sanitary Surveillance Agency, to import cannabidiol CBD-based medicines in the country, has signed a partnership agreement with Dr. Cannabis. Dr. Cannabis is an e-commerce site that facilitates patients' access to medical marijuana. To become the exclusive Brazilian reseller of the Medical Marijuana Inc.'s CBD products. Since 2014, roughly 10,000 approvals have been granted to patients, allowing them to import medical marijuana on a case-by-case basis. Each approval is granted for up to 1 year, and Visa granted 884 new approvals and 170 renewals in the first quarter of 2019. More than 1/3 of all approvals that were handed out in 2018. This partnership has increased our order demand significantly, said HempMeds Brazil Vice President Carolyn Hines. We received 300 new import orders last month and are excited about this new opportunity to grow and provide many new consumers with our high-quality CBD products. Kaia Holdings Inc., OTCQB KAYS, a Canadian legal cannabis company that cultivates medical and recreational cannabis under Kaia Shack and Kaia Farms brands, announced that it has launched its Canadian franchise effort with the appearance of Kaia's CEO at a Franchise Academy franchise seminar in Toronto. Kaia's representation agreement is with a firm called the Franchise Academy. The franchise firm estimates that the development goals for Kaia Shack in the Canadian market to be as high as 100 cannabis retail stores. It was a great pleasure participating in the Franchise Academy's franchise sales seminar, the professionalism of which an audience size only served to increase my enthusiasm for the Canadian franchise opportunity. Kaia's CEO, Craig Frank, remarked, Kaia Holdings is completing the documentation to formally issue an offering under the Rule 506C of Regulation D. The company may seek to raise up to $15 million for their future expansion plans. Thanks for joining us for another weekly roundup of OTC market news. Be sure to check out publicwire.com and subscribe to our blog with all the newest OTC news and announcements. I'm your host, Duke Hillinger. See you next week.